Hi again, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel, even though it's free. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So what's Musk's role in this Epstein scandal? What's fascinating is that you could say, in a way, he was a key catalyst because, if you recall last month, as he was becoming more and more disturbed by the passage of the big, beautiful, in brackets, abomination bill, he began to tweet harshly in Trump's direction, and one of those tweets was saying that Trump is connected to Epstein, he's in the files. Although, of course, then he backtracked from that position, and I was looking at the charts to see if I could find reasons. My best guess is that because their composite has some really good connections and Jupiter was moving through there, it might cause him to, at minimum, go back and forth, which is what he's done. But my feeling is that in the longer term, the relationship is almost certainly broken by now. The point being, though, that on the astrology level, Musk's 5-6 degree, in that range, Cancer Sun, happens to be in Trump's 12th. Right away, any astrologer would say, be careful, because if someone has planets in your 12th house, yes, on the benign end of that, person could really help you there, because the 12th on the high end is the most compassionate house. You know, you see this from the rulerships. You put monasteries and prisons in that house. But by the same logic, you put the highest spiritual values and also the lowest of the low in humanity. So criminality is there as well. So I don't think either of these two men are connected to the spiritual realm in any sense at all. So because of that, that 12th house placement is very dangerous. It's in there triggering Trump's infamous Access Hollywood T-square, which on one level is very dynamic. You can get things done through that, but at major risk. And of course, what is happening right now, Jupiter's going through there, agitating it for Trump for sure, but it's conjunct Musk's Sun. And I had said earlier this year that this is an up time for Musk, because Jupiter, being on top of his Sun, he's full of confidence, he's full of vision, and he's going to make moves, which he has, obviously, including this thing with starting a new party, although that merits a separate video, because that's another fascinating topic in terms of looking at past patterns in American history. So I'll leave that for now, but just now to say that it reflects very nicely what he just did. Indeed, I bet, I haven't looked too closely, but there are probably astrologers suggesting that this may be a super important move, very big, because of Jupiter being on his Sun. And I would tend to agree, because at minimum, it threatens major disruption. You could say to the entire political order, both parties could be affected by it, but my suspicion is that it's more problematic, more dangerous to the GOP, the possibility of America Party that he's suggesting. But back to the Epstein fiasco, he's right in there in terms of what he did, but because his planets are activating it as well, it makes perfect sense. Then if you say, well, where is this going as we move forward? Well, one thing would be that Musk appears to want to be a political force. It seems really important to him, but let's just face it, he's just not very good at it. the man gets in his own way constantly through his own behavior. Notably, what happened in recent days, concurrent with all of this, because this guy, by the way, seems to be all over the place. It's like he's up at all hours of the night, tweeting. It's like he never rests, and that may be the drug use and all the rest. But this thing with Grok, his AI engine, and it's just remarkable to me that someone who is now in his 50s, and at least in some areas, is genius-like. He's a great engineer. He's achieved quite a few. He's done some great things. Let's face it, this is true. And you could also have to grant him tremendous entrepreneurial power, even if you say, well, all he does is take over companies, whatever. He's accrued a huge fortune, and on that level, very good mind. On the political level, he's borderline, he's a clown. It's incredible that he would not realize that some of these moves really damage his image. And when you're in politics, your image is super important. And so what he did here, I was watching a video on this, someone explaining the whole thing, and I just started to laugh. I couldn't believe it. When apparently someone named Cat Turd on his Twitter X, whatever, suggested that Grok, the AI engine, was giving answers that were too woke. They're too proper. They're too politically correct. So Musk said, oh yes, that's true. I've been thinking about that. I need to fix that. So he went in, or someone went in, altered the code, and the next thing you know, the AI engine started to say really racist things, calling itself Mecha Hitler, and to a point where it didn't take very long for counter tweeting to happen. And so then he had to go in and fix what he had just done, including on another level, very comedic. They stopped the AI engine from replying to questions because people were trying to egg it on to get it to say things, and so the engine was prevented from replying, but the engine was then putting up images saying they're stopping me from using text, but I'm trying to see if I can figure out a way through images to reply. Like, totally hilarious, but funny and not funny at the same time. This is someone who wants to become a political force, but he gets in his own way all the time. And if Jupiter's on your sun, and this is one of the patterns, I can't say that this is very good news for you. And even worse, if I see that, yes, Jupiter's on his sun now and stays in his sun sign all the way to next summer, but really the key period in terms of his strength, in terms of things going relatively well, it would be between now and, let's say, around the fall. Like once Jupiter goes past the middle of Cancer, it's not as strong because his last Cancer planet is in the middle of Cancer, is Mercury, and so the latter stages aren't as good. Although you could argue that he should be okay into next year also, because late in the year Jupiter gets as far as 25 degrees Cancer, and that's trine his natal Jupiter, so that's pretty good as well. So you can make an argument that Jupiter really helps him all the way into as much as the late spring of next year, when it finally will exit and go into Leo. But the problem for him is that next year Saturn moves forward into Aries, because right now Saturn gets as far as 2 degrees, and that's not really right on his sun. I mean, his sun is at 5-6 degrees. It needs to move forward more. But next year, by the spring, it reaches those degrees, goes forward. This is in a square, by the way, which is quite challenging. Then moves forward, squares the Mercury, stations, comes back again. it's much, much more complicated. Now, I don't know yet, though, what kind of things will be going on then, but this is just to say that if you think that I'm saying, okay, he's got the Jupiter, he's going to be successful with all this, I doubt it. Including the America Party, my suspicion is that he may start it, but his future, being the leader of such a party and being effective is a major doubt. They're just using common sense because of the tremendous damage he's done to his image. But as a disruptor, no doubt about it. And I think he's pretty sore, and I think he's yet one more person that you can add to the list of people who sooner or later betray Trump. The people that are essentially, you could call them underlings, servants. They're supposed to be helping him, but eventually they break ranks, which is what he's doing. And we can't forget the fact that the man is loaded. He has a lot of money, and he seems to be on a mission to do something, and that cannot be good. The bottom line in all this, if you are thinking to yourself, anything that pushes back on the nefarious nature of this administration is good, then this would be a good thing, because it's causing a lot of problems. He has a big following. Some people agree, some people disagree. So whenever you're doing, the adage, divide et impera, divide and conquer, always a good thing. And in this sense, Musk's role is anything from problematic to extremely dangerous in this situation.